Combining the RCRA national titles. We're here with David Verricchio. We've got a bit of a break before we get into round 4 of qualifying. David, you've been kind enough to give us a bit of an overview. Tell us a bit more about these really cool bikes we're seeing out on track. Okay. So, yeah, we'll give you the mic and you can just take us through, tell us a bit about it, what brand they are, what they run, and yeah, some of the under-the-body details.
Thanks, Tony. Okay, so these are electric fifth-scale bikes. This is in the Superbike category. We run 10-scale electronics, usually anywhere between a 6.5 and an 8.5 turn motor, censored, with a 160 amp speed controller at the moment. Tyre warmers, they use solid rubber tyres, just like our fifth-scale sedans and minis. Lexan body, front and rear brakes. Front brake is electric and the rear brake is electric. Obviously the front brake is controlled by a servo here, disc brake, and the rear brake is controlled by your motor, just like a standard electric car.
You want to maybe take the body off and
sure.
Give us a look underneath? Tyre warmers, that's so cool. How long do you run the tyre warmers? What kind of temperature you getting it up to?
We leave the tyre warmers on pretty much whenever they're in the pits. We keep them at about 60 degrees. Yeah.
And what kind of run time can you get out of them? Obviously, like you said, you're running the standard 2-cell kind of LiPo packs?
Running a 2-cell LiPo pack. These ones are 10,000 milliamps, and we can get up to about half an hour run time with that. What was your other question? Sorry, Tony.
I think that was that one. What about setup and adjustments? What can you do to tweak the handling or performance that you're trying to get?
Sure. Lots of setup adjustments with the bike. One of the biggest ones is getting your steering to feel right. So we have an oil damper which controls our steering, and we can adjust the spring tension in there, obviously the weight of the oil, and also the position of the damper on the triple clamps. We have adjustable fork rake, so we can push the forks out or bring them in. We can raise them or lower them with preload. Coming to the rear of the bike, we have these are we call them our crash bars or sliders. These adjust, control your lean angle. So the more banking, the less the bar comes out, the more banking you have, the faster you can corner. It's also dependent upon how much grip the track has to offer. These are also adjustable forwards and backwards. Then we have our ride height, our rear damper is adjustable, and our droop is adjustable as well. Pretty much covers most of it.
And what about the tyre life? How often are you putting new rubber on, and how much of a difference does tyre compound play?
We have about 3 different tyre compounds. Pretty much 2 are the most used for racing. There's a wet compound and our race compound. This is an M3 tyre. As far as the wear goes, we can run a whole event very comfortably with just 2 sets of tyres and still have plenty of tyre left for practice after the event.
Get a shot here. You can see the stickiness and the grip, and they're actually quite warm to touch after being in the warmers. What's the popularity like in Australia? How many clubs run them? And obviously you touched a little bit on the World Championships that you're working on next year.
Sure. We have quite a few guys running them in Australia. Unfortunately, not as many guys actively participating in the racing or events like this. Unfortunately, I think some people tend to be a little bit overwhelmed from the racing side of it, but there's nothing to be overwhelmed about. It's just about having some fun all together. And overall, we have about 30 active bikers in Australia at the moment, and we have a new category with quarter-scale off-road racing, which is helping to build the numbers in the categories as well.
Just noticed a bit of sandpaper or something on the outside of the body there. What's the go with that?
Yep, that's just to help the marshals when they go to pick the bike up, so it's not so slippery, something to grab onto.
Yeah, that was actually quite funny when I saw that for the first time when there were no marshals out on track. The bikes kind of like do little doughies and spin themselves to get the momentum going, right? Yes,
we can circle around off our bar and then stand up and get going again, self-marshalling.
Love it. Have you seen the off-road bike that's been released, the ready-to-run off-road bike? Do you think that's going to sort of help introduce people maybe to get into the RC scene?
Definitely. The Lossa Promoto and the X-Rider CRS are both new quarter-scale bikes to the category, and there are already a number of guys at a few different clubs around Australia running them. It's building momentum. Hopefully it brings the bug to people and they come and try our off-road, our on-road as well.
Beautiful, man. Well, thanks very much for all that. And I think we just lost the camera, but we'll wander on. Good luck at the next qualifier. And yeah, thanks for all that.
Cheers. Thanks, mate.
All right, we'll see if we push back in.